Hello, and I'm sorry I couldn't be here with you today. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. I wanted to continue in Word Chapter 3, and if you are able to watch this like I want you to, this screen should be pretty big, and you should be able to see what I'm doing. If you're watching it on the my website, because my original plan didn't work, then what you're seeing is very, very small, and I apologize. However, simply follow my my voice instructions in, and you can kind of see where I'm clicking. I'll move the mouse. You can watch that, but most of you are just going to have to listen. I would maybe shorten up this this video by minimizing, by clicking on that minimize button, which would just actually not minimize. It just restores it, what we call down, and so it will make it smaller on your screen, and then you could open up a Microsoft Word document, and then that way you can work through this with me. So you might want to do that either way, even if it's pretty big or pretty small. Take some time right now. I'll give you about I don't know, 30 seconds, 25 seconds to get that down, open up a Microsoft Word document, and just kind of move around the windows so you'll be able to still see what I'm doing for the most part, and also have Microsoft Word. Another thing you might want to do is just open up my video, and then maybe have Microsoft Word minimized, and then just bring it up when you need to. So go ahead and take about 25 to 30 seconds and get that all worked out. If you need help, simply pause the video, and if you need more time, actually, just pause the video, and then you can get that all figured out. Okay, hopefully that worked for you. If not, do the best you can. I want to continue, like I said, in Chapter 3, and we've done things like vertical alignment. We've talked about different ways to copy and paste. Don't forget your paste special when you want unformatted text. Recently we've talked about clip art, and also with clip art, we talked about word art, and this will be kind of in the same vein as that. The first thing that I want you to do is come up to the toolbar, and if it is not on already, find the little standard toolbar button, the A with the shapes in it. I want you to click on that, and at the bottom you should see your drawing toolbar open up. And there it is at the bottom. So do that right now. Click on the A button with the A with the shapes around it. Make sure your drawing toolbar opens up at the bottom. I'll give you about 5 seconds to do that. Alright. From there, we are going to do auto shapes. Now we're also going to, today, look at text box right here, but that will be a little bit later. So 2 buttons today, auto shapes and text box. We have, in the past few days, also talked about word art and clip art. And I want you to notice these buttons here. This one is called fill color, and this one is called line color. Fill color will fill in an entire area. So if you have a square, it will fill in the entire square. If you have the square, it will, this one, line color, will color the entire line. So just that's that kind of borders the square. So first, if I want an auto shape, I click on auto shapes. Go ahead, and if you have your Microsoft Word open, go ahead and click on auto shapes. And you'll notice that you get these choices. We get callouts, So if you have like a little cartoon that you've made, you want to make your clip art talk, there you go. Just like a cartoon. Stars and banners, just nice little shapes. Flowchart, I wouldn't worry about flowchart too much. Block arrows can be kind of neat, just different styles of arrows. Basic shapes, so this is where you get your square, your rectangle, things like diamond, triangle. Then it also gets into some that aren't so basic, but the smiley face, the Ghostbuster symbol without the ghost, lightning bolt, so if you're a big Charger fan, there you go. And connectors, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Lines can be big. If you ever start using them, this is where you come to get lines. You'll also notice that some of these are open on the drawing toolbar. Here is just a line. Here's an arrow with line, arrow. And here are a couple of the shapes. So what I would like you to do, please, is we are going to open up just a basic shape. So go up to basic shapes, and I would like you to choose, and if you missed that, I'm sorry, click first on auto shapes, then go up to basic shapes, and choose one of the first three from the 3 rows, except the triangles. So choose one of these shapes from the first 3 rows except the triangles. And simply click on it. And when you do, you get this. Now don't do anything with this yet. Don't start drawing, please. Don't start drawing. Because you get the drawing canvas. I can't stand this drawing canvas. I'm going to be perfectly frank with you. I have no idea why it's there. Not at all. So the first thing you want to do, and you see it on your screen probably, is hit backspace. Don't do anything. First hit backspace. And it disappears. Then you are left with these crosshairs. Now if you were not able to delete the drawing canvas, quickly do undo or something like that. Go back down to auto shapes and pick another shape. So I'll give you 7 seconds to do that. Alright, so now you've got your crosshairs, and this is where you kind of need to figure out where you want to draw it. But put your crosshairs just kind of on your page. I'm going to put mine about the 1 on the ruler going down the page. And I just hold down my left mouse button and just start dragging across. And I'm going to make it fill up the whole page. So go ahead and draw one right now. If you clicked and it just made a little small shape, simply, just like everything else, clip art, word art, to make it bigger or smaller, just grab these little dots and you can make it bigger or smaller. Alright, so now we've got our shape. And it's a fine shape. But it needs some color. So this is when we come down to, like I said, this fill color. And it looks like a little paint bucket being poured out. Okay, and if you're on the watching this on the website, you're not going to be able to see it, but just look down on your drawing toolbar, and it's a paint bucket being poured out. I want you to click on the downward pointing triangle next to the paint bucket and choose a color. And go with a nice light orange color. I'll give you about 5 more seconds to pick a color. If right now you were messing around with like the fill colors and things, don't do that. Just pick a color. We'll get into that later. So we've filled in a color. So now our shape looks like a nice shape on the page. However, the problem is I want to write words in my shape, and you can see as much as I'm clicking, all I keep getting is this little compass looking thing, 4 arrows, and that just means I can move it. That's it. I cannot type in there. You might recall from Microsoft Publisher, however, that in order to type you must have a text box, and that's what we have in this case. In Publisher, you couldn't type at all without a text box. In Microsoft Word, if you want to type on a shape, picture, clip art, you must use a text box. Remember, the text box looks like a little newspaper. It's got a little A, and it looks like lines, so it looks like a little newspaper. So click on the text box, and you're going to get another crosshair. And now I'm just going to make a text box. And there we go. My text box is big. I can change my font, of course, by coming up here. Change my font to Britannic Bold, 26-point font. I'll put it in the center. And go ahead and do that right now. You can choose a font, choose a size no bigger than 26, and choose an alignment. You can make it bold or italics and underlined if you want to. I'll give you 20 seconds to do that. And when you've chosen that, I'd like you to type in Davis, enter, middle, enter,